everybody, it's Josh with Talk About Trek, and today is Wednesday, which means we spend a little bit of time reviewing some Star Trek comics. And what we've got today is a little bit different. Unfortunately, nothing new. Was really hoping to get that lower decks or that Red Shirts number 2 in. No luck. But we did get some interesting things. First one we're going to look at here is Star Trek Klingons, and this is from IDW. Get the other secret ones out of the way for now. Boosh! Okay. And this was gifted to me by a friend. Let me see. And this was published, or let me see, art by David Messina, written by Scott Tipton and David Tipton, and published, it looks like, in 2007. And the cool thing about this comic here is that it is fully in Klingon, right? And so if you want to, learn a little bit of Klingon, this would be one way for you to do that right here. And I did not, you can go back and read here in the back. It kind of lays the whole thing out for you. So you could read this first, know the whole story, and then kind of, go through the book then, kind of knowing what was going on. So, but, the artwork's pretty cool. Not bad at all. It's got some, so that page I passed right here, I did like that one a lot. But I didn't really read into it too much, so beyond that, I couldn't say very much. The one thing I'll say, and I guess this is kind of a pet peeve, I'm not a fan of photo covers on comics, right? And I guess I don't think anyone really is, to be honest with you. Nobody wants to see that. So anyway, that was Star Trek Klingon. Now the new ones, the new old ones that I picked up today, are definitely worth a look here. So here we're going back to the old Marvel comics. This is Star Trek number 14. And this comes from June of 1981. See, now this is a comic book cover. Let's just take a moment here to examine exactly what the heck we're seeing here. It appears something similar to the Sphinx has come alive. Captain Kirk is a pharaoh, and he's saying, "I am your captain no longer. I am the holy pharaoh, and I decree you shall perish." To which I believe Bones is replying, "Jim, this is madness. We're your friends. Your friends." So, obviously a lot going on here in this one. And we will not go deep into it. Like, I'm not going to go page by page, but there are some things that are definitely worth pointing out. First off, the uniforms, right? They got like these dark blue uniforms going on here, which is pretty cool. Like from like the motion picture, right? I think they were kind of in that vein. And we do, of course, have some advertisements here for Lifesavers. Very important. You can actually enter the sweepstakes here. But we'll just kind of look at some of the art here in this very interesting older comic book here. Looks like they're being attacked here by a statue. And you can see here also the old the security officer here with his helmet and his whole gear there. That's pretty nice. They do, it looks like they they destroy the statue here. Oh, bubble yum, even tastier. Let's see what else we got going on here. Yeah, so I'm gonna just tell you what happens here. Somehow the spirit of this guy has taken over Captain Kirk, and he is Jim Kirk no longer here. Now he's just this guy. So. Now it looks like they are, I don't know what the hell they're doing here, but look at this. Look at that ship. Wait till you guys see the Enterprise in this one too. It is something else here. This is the beaming effect here too. A nice red transporting effect there. So Spock is beaming down. He's trying to figure out what's going on. And look at this. This is the Enterprise. A little different than what we're used to, right? But, you know, it's a pretty cool looking Enterprise nonetheless. So anyway, in the end, it looks like they solved the mystery of the pyramids. A little bit of a fight goes down between Spock and Pharaoh Kirk, I believe, here. And that's Uhura, who has also been like mind controlled by the Queen. I love the sound effects for the phasers here. Check this out. I think is what we're going for there. This I thought was pretty interesting too. On the ship, for whatever reason, I didn't read the full thing. As you can see, everybody is getting bigger. Or actually, I believe the ship itself is shrinking, leading to this very odd situation they found themselves in here. Well, we've got some nice advertisements here in the back. Oh, this page I did like a lot here, so we can take a closer look at this one. So look, they found this tomb of mummies, right? Look at all these mummies. They're alive. That looks really cool, right? All the mummies ripping out of their bandages. Arise, my people, our slumber has been disturbed by invaders. The infidels must be driven out. So anyway, now they're fighting mummies. But, you know, they got phasers, so it's pretty good. Lots of blues here. Blue! And they're blasting them. Phasers on stun, of course. And, here's a little side comic here. Iron Man saving the day and getting a Twinkie. Twinkie for his trouble. At the end of the day, they stun everybody. They beam back to the Enterprise. And, that's Anubis. Anyway, that is a brief look at Star Trek number 14, which my comic book dealer pulled out for me, and he said you can have it for $1. I said, all right, I'll buy that for $1, right? And then last one we'll look at here. Look at this. Kind of looks. What is this? Bullseye or what? Daredevil, right? Daredevil here. That can't be Captain Kirk. Oh, excuse me. Oh my God. Big time sneezing. All right. It is Captain Kirk in disguise as this strange horned alien here, right? So the Enterprise is drawn a little bit different this time. Still not quite the Enterprise that we're used to, but, you know, not too bad. Now this one had some fairly funny spots in it as well. Let me see. This is art by Gil Kane. And I didn't see who the art in the last one was. Was it also Gil Kane? No. Luke McDonnell and Gene Day in the last one. So this is a different artist here. Ooh, look at that Vulcan neck pinch right there. Ooh, very good. So basically with this one, we're just going to go through, and I'll show you guys the very interesting bits here that we see. One thing I like about these aliens, see if I can find it, is they have some very odd salutes here. Kind of remind me of like the Ginyu Force, right? You guys familiar with the Ginyu Force, right? Check this out. That is a Ginyu Force pose right there, right? Totally. Oh, anyway, look at this. Imagine having that sweet Lifesaver sleeping bag when you were a kid. It's a beautiful thing. Alright, over here on this side, looks like they are facing off against, and this is currently the Enterprise crew in disguise. They're facing off against some large alien thing. Let's see. Oh, Spider-Man. And they're trying to take him out, but this thing is pretty lithe, and it manages to get out of the way until, without a second to spare, Blue, they take it out. So, pretty good. This I thought was pretty funny here. I mean, it's not funny, but it is pretty funny the way they wrote this in here. So this alien here, who is like some kind of shapeshifter, right? He takes over for Spock, but Jim figures it out. You know, he knows it's not Spock. And then he tells a story about how he was driving with his love of his life, and they drove off the road, and he survived. but Lorna drowned. Look, he's so messed up. They're telling him he's got to stop blaming himself, right? But check this out. Well, I got a hot flash for you. That night we were coming home from a party where I'd been doing a little Corazine for laughs. Get it? When I ran that transport into the trench, I was stoned. Okay. Poor guy, man. He's got to lay off that Corazine, right? I killed the only person in my life who ever wanted to love me or let me love her back. Man, what a freaking... Oh, jeez. What an issue that guy had to go through, man. Anyway, I hope things get better from him. He eventually just kind of zaps himself away. We get a little more Vulcan neck pinching. Spock comes back into play. They get into this sweet hover car. Love that. And end up getting a little kung fu action here. I don't know. One of them is doing that. I'm going to assume maybe it's Spock. I don't know. They're getting into their battle stance to do that. And in the end, they save the day, are able to transport away, and get back on the Enterprise for another adventure, right? Anyway, just like I said, a quick look today is all we're doing, just to have a little bit of fun, check out a few things. I never went to the big camera, which I probably should have, but I didn't. That would have been this one, so you guys could have seen the comic a little bit better here. Well, here, let's go back to that one scene so you can at least see that. The poor guy. Where is he? Anyway, there you go. There's the nerve pinch. Here we've got another beautiful shot of that Enterprise. Okay. The inside first page. And that is your look at Marvel Comics 14 and 15. Just something fun to do on a Wednesday night. And of course, we did have a quick look at Star Trek Klingons as well. Just hanging out, looking at some comics, having some fun. I want my new ones though, man. I'm really anxious to get into Red Shirts some more, and also to see where they're going to go with the Voyager Homecoming. So I'm hoping next week, when we stop by the old comic book shop, we'll have some new stuff to talk about. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. As always, live long and prosper, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good night.